It's disappointing. There's really no other way to talk around it. It's disappointing and it's unfortunate.
That's Kevin Kavoris after learning the Suffolk police officer who critically injured his son Reardon was back on the job. Newsday obtained documents showing an arbiter ruled David Mascarella could go back to work.
When I see Reardon struggling, it's not fair. That the person facing consequences is the person who did nothing wrong.
This is the intersection in St. James along Middle Country Road where the accident happened back in 2020. And as a part of Newsday's investigation into the arbiter's report, we've learned that Mascarella's pickup was going 61 miles an hour, 21 miles an hour over the posted limit just before he hit the car that Reardon's father was driving.
As a result, the then 2-year-old Reardon was put in a medically induced coma as a doctor repaired the jigsaw puzzle-like skull fractures. Years later, Reardon is still struggling to overcome the injuries.
It's so wrong what happened to Reardon, and without consequences, it just increases the likelihood of something like that happening again.
Suffolk County Police Internal Affairs wanted Mascarella to be fired. The county argued he made no attempt to render aid or call for help, but instead called his union delegate. But an independent arbiter, not the police, had the final say on the discipline. He found in October 2023 insufficient evidence to justify termination. Mascarella is currently on desk duty and will earn approximately $175,000 this year. Newsday investigative reporter Paul LaRocco says Suffolk County records also show Mascarella had 4 plastic water bottles in the center console of his truck that contained alcohol.
The department tried to use that as one of the pieces of evidence to fire him, but the arbitrator said there was no evidence that he was drinking from those bottles that day.
When police do not do a proper investigation, you could even say this investigation was negligent. And when they don't do a proper investigation, that means they don't collect the right evidence, they don't collect the right facts.
John Bandler, former state trooper and Manhattan prosecutor, now a law professor at John Jay College, reviewed the arbitration opinion on this case.
It is quite likely that if the investigation had been better, there would have been more facts, more evidence to bring to that arbitrator for that arbitrator to make a decision.
In a statement, Mascarella's lawyer, William Petrillo, says, on that day, he properly pulled over and remained at the scene for almost 2 hours. Dave has an exemplary record for 20 years and remains an asset to the SCPD.
I think there's positions of public trust, and he doesn't have that. There's no reason to trust him at this point, and taxpayer dollars should not be spent in that way.
According to the county, Mascarella tried to cover up his blood alcohol content by leaving the crash scene unannounced and ultimately refusing 2 sobriety tests.
We celebrate every single milestone because everyone means so much where he came from, but also we don't know when we'll stop celebrating. We don't know what the future will bring. We don't know how his brain will change and how his body will change. So we're very much living in the present with him.
Andrew Enger, Newsday TV.